Hi everybody, welcome to my review of Season 3, Episode 4 of Little Women Atlanta. If you haven't seen this episode yet, this video will act like a spoiler, so you might want to watch this later. The name of this episode is Just a Friend. The episode begins with Money going over to Tanya's house to talk to her. Money tells Tanya that she's just trying to plan the wedding, and she says that there has been some tension between her and Moreland regarding wedding planning, but Moreland doesn't seem excited about the wedding stuff. Tanya says that her baby daddy Nico is coming to town. Nico is the father of Tanya's son Jaden. Tanya says not a lot of people know her and Nico's relationship. They've known each other for 10 years, and even though Devon isn't Jaden's biological dad, Devon helped her raise him since Nico decided not to be there. Tanya says Nico is coming to Atlanta so that he can look for a place to stay so he can be close to his son. Tanya asks, what does Nico looking for a place in Atlanta mean for their relationship? Tanya says she doesn't know, but she's not looking for anything to spark, and he's just going to be in Atlanta to look for a place. Money says that's good, and she asks Tanya what she wants. Tanya says that she just wants to co-parent with Nico and have a friendship. Money asks Tanya if she's ever thought about being with Nico again. Tanya says she doesn't know, and she'll always care about him, but she'll see. In the next scene, Minnie's mother, Tammy, visits Minnie at her new place. Tammy tells Minnie that her landlord was told that Minnie's dog, Chloe, was living with her and she has 30 days to move out, and she was wondering if she could move in with Minnie for a couple of weeks, or a month or two. Why would you bring a dog into a no-pet apartment complex or even move into one with a pet? That doesn't make sense. Minnie reminds her mother that she just moved out. Minnie tells Tammy that she can stay with her on a time limit. Minnie says her mom always has her back, from chicken wings to taking care of her dog, so she should let her stay with her. But that doesn't mean there won't be some ground rules. In the next scene, Moreland and Money go to a tuxedo shop so they can find a wedding tuxedo for Moreland. So Moreland tries on a tuxedo, and then Money asks him if he's ready to get married. Money tells Moreland that he looks nice, and she can't wait for the big day. Moreland says that he's just glad that they got that, tuxedo shopping, out of the way. Money says to say that she and Moreland are having issues with the wedding is an understatement. If you name it, they fought about it. Money asks Moreland if he's getting cold feet. Moreland says it will be kinda hard to say that he's getting cold feet, and sometimes he feels like they're rushing stuff, and he needs to make sure that he and Money are on the same page before they get married. He's not saying that they won't get married, but he wants to make sure that they get married at the right time, even with all of the conflict with Money's father. Then he mentions how Money has been talking about monetizing people. Money says that she's past that, but people can still bring that out of her if something gets out of hand at the wedding. Money mentions how she and the ladies have been getting along, and that's a sign of growth. Money says it seems like when she makes a change for the better, Moreland makes a change for the worst. Moreland says that he wants to see if Money keeps her progress up. In the next scene, Tanya picks up her friend Nico from the airport. Tanya says that she and Nico agreed to be just friends, but when they come around each other, old feelings tend to pop up. When Nico arrives at the airport, he picks up Tanya and hugs her. They seem to be really happy to see each other. They both get into the car. Nico says he can't wait to be in Atlanta when his son is in town. Tanya says that she hopes that Nico is serious about moving to Atlanta, and she thinks that it will be good for him to be close to his son. Nico says they'll figure things out. Tanya says they don't really plan too much, and they just go with it. Nico says maybe they should start planning things, and maybe they could plan on having a kid. Tanya says that she's not good on plans. Then Nico says that Tanya's not good on commitment either. In the commentary, Tanya says that Nico teases her about not wanting to settle down, but he wants to do his own thing too, and she's totally cool with that. She knows their relationship is unconventional, but she doesn't need conventional to be happy. Why does Nico all of a sudden want to come back to Atlanta to be with his son? Maybe because he found out that Tanya's gonna be on TV. Maybe. That's what they do. Just like on Little Women Dallas with Amanda and her ex-boyfriend Zach. Him wanting to be back in the picture because she's on TV. So, or maybe he does really want to see his son. I don't know. Next, the twins meet up with Juicy at a restaurant to talk about getting back to work since Andrea had her baby. Andrea tells Juicy that she and Andrea are looking for a manager and they want Juicy's opinion on what they should do. Juicy asks the twins what do they want managed and are they thinking about doing anything else but dancing. The twins say they want to promote events and advertise products such as soap or makeup, and they want to do less twerking because they don't want people to think that they're strippers. Amanda says that twerking has gotten their bills paid and their followers up. Juicy says the twins need to get a manager that's on their side so they won't get taken advantage of. And they need to remember that the manager will work for them. And she wouldn't pay a manager more than 10%. Juicy says she has some people that the twins could talk to, and she tells the twins that she wants to know if they're serious about having a manager. Nico and Tanya make it back to Tanya's house. When they get to the house, Nico meets Sam. Sam says that she's heard a lot about Nico, and Tanya's very excited about having him in Atlanta. But she's confused why he came to visit when his son is with Tanya's other baby daddy, Devon. Nico says that he would have loved to see his son, and it's hard because Devon is his son's father figure, and he's his father. Tanya points out how Nico will be around more since he'll be moving to Atlanta soon. Sam asks Tanya if Nico will be moving in with them in Atlanta. Nico says things aren't really planned out regarding to that. Tanya says that Sam asking questions about Nico moving to Atlanta is awkward, because she doesn't have answers. And it makes her realize that she and Nico need to sit down and sort things out. Sam asks Nico what's going to happen with him and Tanya's relationship since he's in Atlanta, and if they're going to rekindle anything. Tanya says they're not putting any pressure on each other, and they just want to have fun. Sam says she doesn't believe that Tanya and Nico are just friends. Then, Nico tells Tanya to tell him about the ladies that he will be meeting, and Tanya says if Nico will be moving to Atlanta, she should introduce him to the girls, and they can be a tough crowd when it comes to meeting people, and she hopes Nico can handle it. I agree with her. Good luck, Nico. Good luck. In the next scene, the twins go to a management company building. They meet with two entertainment managers. The twins tell the managers that in the past they have twerked at clubs, and they don't want to twerk for the rest of their lives, and they want to do modeling. One of the managers asks the twins if they've taken any acting classes. Amanda says no. Then, Amanda brings up how when they were younger, they'd stay in the room because they didn't want people to make fun of them. One of the managers tells the twins that she thinks that they're both pretty and smart, and they have a lot to offer. And she thinks that they're very marketable, and they can really educate people about being a little person. Amanda asks the manager what percentage will they be charging them. And how long will the contract be? A manager says they'll charge 15% of gross, and they normally do a 3-year contract. They start everyone with a 3-year contract because sometimes it takes time to get things going. The twins think that 15% is a lot. The managers say that if they manage them, they'll work hard for them, and it's all about protecting them and branding them properly and helping them achieve goals. And if they want to move forward, they should take some promo shots to show their personality and show how they want to present themselves. The twins say that they're up for that. Next, Money and Juicy go to a wig shop so Money can look for a new wig. Then Money tries on a few wigs, and then Money talks Juicy into trying a wig. Juicy asks Money how she and Moreland are doing. Money says that Moreland isn't answering any of her calls, and she knows that he's working, but instead he would just shoot her a quick text. Money says Moreland is a truck driver for his job, and they haven't talked much since the tux shop. Juicy tells Money that it's going to take Moreland some time because there's a lot of information for him to take in, but he really loves Money. Money gets a little emotional and says that she's just not used to Moreland not talking to her. Juicy says that Moreland is just trying to take everything in, and tells Money to talk to him and let him know what's up. In the next scene, Minnie gets her house ready for company. Tammy tells Minnie that she will be upstairs. Minnie says Gary is coming over for a romantic home-cooked meal, and she's not much of a cook. So she ordered in, and she hopes that Gary doesn't notice. So Minnie puts the food on the plates and stuff. When Gary rings the doorbell, she shoves the box of food into the closet. Then she lets Gary in, then they sit down, and Gary says that the food is put together well. And he says he doesn't feel any heat coming from the kitchen. Then Minnie starts giggling because she didn't cook the food. And then Minnie decides to come clean and tells Gary that she ordered the food from a restaurant. And then they both start laughing. And then the two sit down in the living room and have some wine. Then Minnie's mother comes downstairs. She sits down in the living room and tells Gary that she had to move out of her house and she's staying with Minnie. And then she asks, what smells so good? Gary tells her that Minnie ordered some dinner. For some reason, Tammy says that Gary was bamboozled. And then Minnie says that she can't believe her own mom is throwing salt in her game. In the next scene, Sam and Juicy meet up to get their nails done. Juicy asks Sam who Nico is. Sam tells her that he's Tanya's first baby daddy, and he's in Atlanta for a visit. Sam says she doesn't know where Nico and Tanya stand, relationship-wise or friendship-wise. Juicy says she thinks that there's something fishy with Nico being in town while his son is not in town. Juicy says she can't wait until the dinner, and that can be her opportunity to get to the bottom of things, and she needs to see who Nico is. Typical Ms.Juicy, being nosy, starting drama. In the next scene, Sam and the twins go to a place where the twins will get their pictures taken. The twins take some pictures. Then they discuss the contract business with an agent. One of the twins tells one of the managers that they want to have a 3-month trial with an entertainment manager. One of the managers says that will be really hard because when they work for people, they commit to them. And their contract is normally 3 years. Amanda says that her sister and her will go home and talk about it. In the commentary, the twins say that 3 years is too long to be locked in a contract. And if the managers don't want to make a 3-month trial with them, they don't think that they're the ones for them. In the next scene, Money is shown at her house with Moreland, getting ready for the dinner. Money says Moreland has been acting a little snippy since the tuck shop. She's frustrated, and she has to figure out what's going on. Moreland says he's been meaning to come to Money about some things because there's been a lot on his mind, such as Money's father, and he wanted the wedding planning to be a smooth transition. Money says it's all about her and Moreland and not to give up on them because of what other people are doing. Moreland says he doesn't want any more stuff popping out of the blue. Money says that she is concerned, and one more curveball, Moreland might call off the wedding. In the final scene of the episode, everybody meets up at the restaurant with their dates. And then Juicy mentions how the ladies came to the dinner with their boos, and Tanya came with her boo Nico. Tanya says that Nico is just a friend. Then Minnie introduces everyone to Gary. Then Tanya introduces everybody to Nico. Then Minnie says that Nico isn't Tanya's boo, but is her buddy. Tanya says that she's starting to regret this get-together, and she's really frustrated about how the girls are acting, especially Minnie and Juicy, and asks why does everyone care so much about her relationship with Nico. Minnie asks Tanya how long they've known each other. Tanya says 10 years. Then Ms.Juicy had the nerve to say, "Oh, y'all been dating for 10 years? Boo. Tanya just said that he was just a friend. I know Ms.Juicy's acting all messy like this for the show. But besides, she's too old to be doing that. That's not a good look for her." Nico says his main focus is being around for his son. Then Andrea asks, where's his son? Girl, Andrea, stay in your lane, because your son doesn't live with you, and your parents are taking care of him. So don't you start. I love you, Andrea. I'm a big fan, but I'm just keeping it real right now. Tanya says that their son is in Maryland at the moment with family. In the commentary, Andrea says if Nico wants to be in his son's life, why didn't he come to town when his son was in town? Once again, Andrea, you need to stay in your lane. Has your man Chris made an effort to visit his son while you guys are living in Atlanta? I don't know. Probably not. And where was Chris when your son almost died? And where was he when it was just you and your sister and your parents taking care of him? He was MIA. Ms.Juicy asks Nico how long he'll be in Atlanta. Nico says that he'll be leaving the next morning because he has to go back to work. Then, one of the twins asks where he's going to live. Nico says that they will figure it out. Minnie asks Nico what's wrong with living with Tanya, since they have a child together. Nico says that they're just trying to be mature and responsible. And then Gary points out how Tanya and Nico have 10 years of history. Tanya says as you mature, you change into a different person. And if they're going to get into a relationship, they want to make sure that it's what they want forever. Tanya says she doesn't get why she has to explain anything to the girls. And she and Nico's relationship is none of their business. Juicy points out how Nico and Tanya have been lovers and friends. And then she says that Nico can move in with Tanya and they can have another baby. Then everybody except for Sam and Nico and Tanya start laughing. Tanya looks very uncomfortable at that moment. Then Tanya leaves the table. Then Sam and Nico follow her and check and see if she's okay. Tanya says that she's okay and she was just nervous. She talks to Nico privately and she tells Nico that people have their opinions and she says, why can't they live? And Tanya and Nico go back to the table with everyone else. Then Amanda tells Tanya that they're all sorry and didn't mean to offend her. Then Tanya says that a lot of emotions came up. And then Ms.Juicy says, what kind of emotions? Tell me. As we can see here, she's clearly trying to start stuff again. Then Tanya starts crying a little, kind of happy tears, kind of sad. Then Nico says that he and Tanya have been through a lot, and the situation is very sensitive. Then Gary says that everyone is interrogating them because they care about Tanya, and they want to know if Nico is going to be in Tanya's life forever or not. Then Andrea says that Chris has been questioned before, and in the commentary, Tanya asks why Andrea is comparing Chris to Nico, considering how Chris walks out on her all the time. Then Nico says, who's gonna care about Tanya's feelings more than him? And if you really care, Tanya is feeling uncomfortable about stuff Gary doesn't know about. Then Andrea says that people talk mess about Chris, but no one cares about his feelings. Then Gary tells Nico that he doesn't care where he's from. Then Andrea goes off on somebody, I don't know who. And then Nico says that he's just there to see his son. And then Andrea asks Nico, where's his son, once again. Then Tanya tells everyone that she doesn't care that they're asking, but everyone is getting an attitude about her business. And then Minnie and Andrea start yelling at Tanya about what she said. Then while all this is happening, Ms.Juicy is just sitting there smiling, sipping her drink, looking back and forth, looking at the drama unfolds with her messy self. Then Nico yells and says, y'all don't know anything! Then Andrea starts yelling at him. And then Tanya and Nico decide to leave the restaurant. Then after Tanya leaves the table, Andrea calls Tanya a stupid. And then Tanya tells her to shut the up. Andrea stands up and says, what are you gonna do? Girl, why were you talking mess about her after she left the table? Why couldn't you say it while she was there? You're probably scared. And then Chris gets up and I guess he runs toward Nico. Not to mention that we cannot see Nico because he's probably near the exit. I don't know why he's getting up, acting like he's about to fight somebody. His behind needs to stay out of trouble, needs to stay out of jail and worry about raising them kids and being there for your baby mama and your children. And then Moreland and I guess another man who works at the restaurant tries to hold Chris back, but Chris pushes the guy away who was holding him. And then Jordan and Gary get up, I guess to try and stop Chris from doing whatever he's doing. And that's where they cut the episode off. This scene is to be continued. I do not think that there's going to be a fight in the next episode, because we would have seen it in the season preview. You know how they like to show the most entertaining parts of the season in the season preview. So we didn't see a fight, so I don't think there's going to be a fight. I don't think anything popped off. And clearly, all the cast members asking Tanya and Nico questions was staged for the show. If they had just met Nico at the restaurant, said, "Hi, nice to meet you," and then had a quiet dinner, it would have been boring. There would be nothing for the viewers to hold on to. People would probably be changing the channel. Do you know, reality TV, I say this a lot, reality TV, that's just how they do. But I'm still looking forward to see what happened at that restaurant with Chris and Nico. That's all I have to say about that episode. I hope you guys liked my review, found it entertaining, found it helpful. I'm sorry it was kind of boring in the beginning and the middle. Sorry I posted this video so late. My hair was looking jacked up and I refused to make a video with my hair looking jacked up. But now my hair's done again, as you can see. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe to my channel. If you have subscribed, turn on my notifications. Check out my old Little Women Atlanta review videos. Check out my Little Women Dallas review videos. Follow me on Twitter at ILUMoreThanThis. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.